As award season wraps up in Hollywood, police say the best actor you've never heard of is currently starring as a defendant. He's accused of posing as a contractor and stealing tens of thousands of dollars from unsuspecting homeowners.
Investigators worried that there could be many more victims out there as well, even perhaps some of you watching tonight. Let's go over to NBC4 consumer investigator Randy Mack.
That's
Randy.
right. They say he is very believable. The suspect is currently in jail for what police and his alleged victims hope is the final act in the story, where they say the script almost never changes. Homeowners allegedly swindled out of thousands of dollars.
This is John Lee. He's no De Niro or Denzel, but ask folks who've seen him perform and they'll tell you he can act.
I think he's a great actor. He believes in his role.
He showed up with the truck, he had the badge, he had the clipboard.
It was very convincing. Wrote up a nice contract, and I believed him.
Lee is accused of setting up multiple businesses online, soliciting contracting work for windows, shades, shutters, and doors. One of his alleged victims shared this video with the I-team of Lee at his home.
No. I couldn't find the parking space here.
Saying he shows up.
If you want us to do it, the whole door, it costs us $100. We just paid $100.
Takes measurements, writes a contract, and requests a deposit. And once he's got your cash, the plot twists.
This man never came back. He never did anything. He never did any work.
How much?
$700.
How much?
$1,300.
How much?
$1,300.
How much?
$4,800.
How much?
$1,500.
Goodness.
That's $9,600 from just 5 of the 8 people in L.A. County police say Lee scammed, and it would have been more. Juan Ping says some of that payment was on a credit card. She disputed it and won. In L.A., Lee faces 20 counts of burglary. Police say for entering homes with the intent to steal, 8 counts of grand theft, and 2 counts of petty theft.
I know of 4 other victims outside the county, and I understand there's other victims now that have come to light.
I paid him a total of $10,250.
Clark Coffey lives in Orange County. He says he hired Lee to install new windows and doors in his home last August.
Has he done any work?
He has done no work. Not at all.
Has he contacted you?
Fell off the face of the earth.
I received 7 cases in our jurisdiction against Mr. Lee.
Detective Wise recently arrested Lee, charging him with committing 31 crimes, including burglary, grand and petty theft, construction embezzlement, contracting without a license, and charging excessive down payment.
Every one of the victims alleged in this case are out a significant amount of money.
None of the victims we talked with ever got a dime back from Lee, but investigators say they're aware he's made some partial repayments to others who threatened to report him to authorities.
Well, John Lee is one of our notorious unlicensed contractors. We've been dealing with him, as best as I can tell, since 2006.
Lopes says the Contractor State Licensing Board has 4 current investigations on Lee, and in 14 years have recommended 9 criminal charges against him, resulting in 9 convictions in Riverside, L.A., and Orange counties. Lee's received probation, fines, and spent nearly 2 years behind bars. Investigators say once he's out, it's the same old script.
We are alleging in this case habitual criminal offender, and that does carry additional weight.
Mr. Lee, you're ordered back to this department.
Lee has pleaded not guilty to all his current charges, but as his case hits the courts, it's still a cliffhanger. Will it end with him behind bars, or will there be encore performances of the role Coffey says Lee has mastered?
It's a shame, because I think he'd actually make a really, really successful, legitimate window salesperson.
Lee is represented by a public defender who would not answer or allow him to answer any questions about his case or his history. Now, I did speak face-to-face with Lee's wife. She tells me that he's a gambling addict. She says that she has bailed him out of jail as recently as last November and helped him pay some fines, but that she was never a part of any of his alleged crimes. She actually says she's relieved that he's been arrested, and she hopes to divorce him. Now, if you believe that you were a victim, investigators definitely want to hear from you. We put the detective's contact information on our website. Crimes involving homeowners are really only part of what Lee is accused of doing, and we'll show you what else our investigation found on Lee tomorrow on NBC4. Chuck?
All right. Thank you, Randy.